What up guys, so here are a few airdrops that I'm currently farming, which are just taking and chill. I do prefer the ones that I need to be taking some transactions because it is easier for me to have a good rank by doing so. And also whenever we're talking about staking, you need to have a pretty significant amount of money, and also you need to start doing them early enough. But how I see it is, if I'm already holding a token for the long term as an investment, why not using it so I can also receive an incentive out of it? So by the way, if I don't cover a project today, it doesn't mean that I don't like it. It is just because I am not currently doing it. So I would never cover something that I don't have some skin in the game. Number one on the list is Milky Way, and it has been for a long time. And that is just because number one, the airdrop is confirmed for next month. Also, it is quite easy for you to have a good rank on Milky Way just by using TIA. So this is my smallest wallet. I do have two wallets, and I'm still within the top 10%, currently at 8.3%. I think I'm using less than 500 bucks, but obviously I also started 2 months ago, so most likely that is why. But still, fairly easy to do with something that I'm just using around $400 worth of TIA. Pretty decent. Only thing you need to do is just swap TIA for Milky Way. There's really nothing else to do. You can use it on some DeFi platform to earn a little bit more funds, but obviously that is a little bit more advanced and you do need to put in the work. But if you just want to do it just by staking and forgetting about it, this is quite a good project to do. I do have a video on how you guys can start, so if you're interested into it, just type DeFi Chronicles Milky Way and you will find a guide for it. Number two, this is another project that I don't think, if you don't have a lot of funds into it, you're not going to be receiving a crazy airdrop. But how I see it is, if you're already holding some Solana or some liquid version of it, why not farming Sanctum so you can receive an airdrop out of it? Again, if it is 50 bucks, it doesn't really matter, because if you're already holding Solana for the long term, why not doing it? And also you don't need to deposit your funds, right? So if you're holding, for example, some Bunksol, I think Sol should be available, Infinity, which is the liquid version of Sanctum, you're basically earning some points every single second, and you're going to be receiving an airdrop in the future because it is confirmed. So quite easy to do, but again, it is kind of crowded. I'm not saying with 1 or 2 Solana you're going to get rich, but if you already have some Solana for the long term, why not using it? Because this is exactly what I'm doing. I have some Solana for the long term. I converted most of them into some liquid version. I'm earning some points. And in the future, if I receive something out of it, cool. But if I don't, still the same, because I was already holding some Solana for the long term. So I don't really care. Number three, which I'm super bullish on this, by the way, super bullish. I do have a previous video on how to farm Azuro protocol. This is the last phase. So we're going to be receiving the airdrop pretty soon, maybe over the next 2 to 3 months or even less than that. And what you can do is take some USDT, some stablecoin, or XDAI. I currently have around $800 worth of them between the two of them, and I'm earning some points every day or so. But I'm also taking some bets on some of the betting platforms. But if you don't want to do that, you can just take some funds and you're still going to be receiving some points and an airdrop in the future. And you can also remove your funds after 7 days. So if you're not planning to use your stable coins, you can just take them there. And then after 7 days, if you want to remove them or remove a chunk of them, you're still able to do so. And you're not going to be losing your points, but obviously it will stop increasing. So number three on my list, again, super bullish on this, is Azuro. Let's go to number four, another one that I'm extremely bullish on. And to be honest, my main focus for Zai, it is actually for the long term in terms of price appreciation. I'm not really doing it because the airdrop is just a plus. So Zai is an L3, specifically for gaming. So there is a lot of gaming projects building on Zai, and how I see it is, if we are staking some Zai tokens, we might receive an airdrop from some of those gaming projects in the future. I currently have 3 wallets. My primary, I have around 3,000, secondary around 1,000, and the third one I have 319. So I'm currently building that. I have it spread out because these are for long-term plays, and I don't allocate all my funds into a single wallet. And also the APR is pretty decent. So this morning I increased my Zai to 319. I claim my rewards and it is already at 0.85. So pretty decent. If you guys want to get involved with it, I might need to do a video on how to do it, but just for you to know, first of all, you're going to need some Xi tokens in your wallet. You guys can send it to the Arbitrum chain. Then you go to redeem and you swap it for ESXi. Then you go into staking, and then you stake your funds. Basically, that's it. If you want a video on how to do it, I might do it, but pretty easy, pretty simple. So number 4, it is definitely Xi. Are we on number 4? I think we are on number 4. Yeah, on number 4. So number 5 on the list is the Aptos ecosystem. And I don't really have a favorite. I'm just doing all of them. I do have a video, which is a 5-in-1 strategy for the Aptos ecosystem. Aptos, they still have an allocation for their secondary airdrop. So that's a good thing. We might receive the airdrop from Aptos, but at the same time, Liquid Swap, which is a massive project, by the way, they have, for example, Liquid Swap, they have Lumio, which is an L2. They also have their own wallet, which is Symtom. So it is a pretty big project, and they have been vocal about the airdrop. You guys can even see it up here. So what I'm doing is just taking some Aptos tokens and also swapping back and forth whenever I have the chance. Next on the list, we also have Aras, which I'm staking some Aptos. They have a point system. You guys can see it up here. So just by doing so, you're going to be receiving an airdrop in the future. Amnis is another one. You guys can see it up here. There is a 10 million AMI tokens which gonna be distributed soon. So I'm still farming it, just taking some funds, which you receive the liquid version of Amnis, and you guys can stake it into Aras if you want to. My current ranking there is at 2.6k. Then we also have Apton, which is another protocol for staking. They have a point system, so I'm staking some funds there, but I'm also borrowing against it so I can double my points. So for Aptos, these are the one that I'm doing. I'm doing Aptos, obviously, as the main one. Then I'm doing Liquid Swap, I'm doing Aras, Amni, and also Apton. So in total, I'm doing 5 projects, so pretty decent, right? Next on the list, let's see what else we got. This is another project that it might not be a huge airdrop, but what I like about it is there is not a lot of people doing it, which is accumulated finance. And what I'm doing is I was already holding a pretty significant amount of Menta tokens. So I took a chunk and I staked it in accumulated finance. We're getting 5 points for every $50 stake, and that is per week. But if we scroll down to the leaderboard, number 900, they have less than 10 points. So that means they have been using less than $50 or probably already removed their funds. So what I did is I staked some Menta, not a crazy amount. I'm getting 5 points per week. So just to farm it. And also the APR is actually pretty great. It is currently at 30%. Obviously, this will continue to drop over the next few weeks, but 30% is pretty decent. There's also another strategy that you guys could use. So first you stake your Menta, you mint, and then you stake for you to receive WST Menta. Once you receive that, you guys can actually go to Shubio to stake your WST Menta. Unfortunately, right now it is at max capacity, but whenever they increase the cap, you guys can also stake it there and receive a double airdrop. So next on the list, we have zkLink. This is another one that I took some of my Menta and stake it there. zkLink is a L3, and they have an active campaign, which you basically stake some funds. And you guys can also do some of the quests right here. So you can see we have Layer Bank, Link Swap, Izume, and many others. What I did is I staked some Menta, and then I staked my funds into Native. So Native, they have the, actually I mentioned that on my previous video, but Native, it is a DEX, which is also tokenless, and I staked some funds there, so hopefully in the future I can receive an airdrop. So I'm basically doing a 2-in-1, which is zkLink and Aqua at the same time. So quick recap for you guys. So number 1, we have Milky Way. Number 2, we have Sanctum. Number 3, we have Liquid Swap. Then we have Xi. We have Accumulated Finance. We also have zkLink. And lastly, we have the Aptos ecosystem. I do like all of them. just because of the simplicity and because I'm already holding those tokens. So I have Aptos, I have Menta, I have Celestia. So I do like all of them. Lastly, we could also mention the Cosmos ecosystem, which are, for example, Saga, TIA, Atom, and also Dimension. I don't have a crazy position into Atom and Celestia anymore because I took all my Celestia out to stake it into Milky Way because I do prefer it like that, but you guys can obviously stake it with a validator if you like that better. Then I also have some money into Dimension and also Saga. I do like Saga. My only problem with Saga is that the circulating supply is currently at 9% only. So it will obviously increase in the future, but the price is also down. It is at $2.20, $2.30, and it was around $5. So obviously right now it is down like 50%. So you might see it as a good opportunity. Obviously not financial advice, but you basically stake with a validator and you might receive an airdrop in the future. So there you go, guys. Let me know if there is any other project that you guys are doing so I can take a look into it. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.